This is If My People Bible Reading, part 160, and this is a dedication, a reflection of my life. I was asked by a number of people about sources and so forth. I give you a 15-minute short understanding of this, and think. So many people think. First of all, the Bibles I've read, not even close to how many my brothers read, but maybe around 150 different Bibles I've gone through, word for word, page by page, precept, paragraphs, chapter, verse, and narrowed them down to just a few. I remember ordering a number of Bibles and put my name on them in gold and all that kind of stuff, and then like the Schofield, and then finding out there's errors in it because there's obvious errors in the commentary and in the written word. The written word and the errors in the commentary were put in by man, not Yahweh. Yahweh's inspired. So if I just grab a Bible from the store anywhere, in for the most part, um, I would have to say for the most part because, for instance, the added to Bible that contain like Church of Latter Day Saints and so forth, who make it very obvious when you read it that it is not like the rest of the Bibles. That's I don't consider a Bible, but otherwise, the words have been so intact and so perfect in the last number of thousands of years that I don't slam any of them. I've had appreciated and I enjoy doing it. The commentaries, the Matthews, Henry's reading, which I'm showing right there, and the J. Vernon McGee's and the others that I still keep. For the most part, I've given away or gotten rid of one way or another the other Bibles. Um, but it's not about the Bibles. It's more about the people. It's more about the Ruach that lives within you now. Back in Sunday school and so forth, we've all gone through that. Many of us have gone through the confirmation. You get this little certificate, it means you're going to heaven and all this stuff. All this equates back to Yeshua saying, "Hey, listen, if you're going to clean your house, clean your house. But when you clean your house, don't leave it empty. Fill it with the ruach, or else it gets worse." And for most of us in the Christian world, it got worse. Life didn't improve becoming a Christian. That's why in the United States and Canada and so forth, majority of the Christians are divorced. There are more Christians per population, number wise, over 50%, that are divorced versus the pagan heathen people that they live around. Does that tell you something? That's why I went ahead and agreed. The people asked me to do this and talk about myself a little bit. I don't want and I don't like doing that because I'm a deplorable person. So back in spring of '74, I remember being in college and running into a number of people and got on fire. But they didn't give me any understanding what to do after I was on fire. So after a year or so, I went cold. Not good then, but I continue on. I remembered the ruach, the spirit was in me, but it's fighting back and forth with the other earthly systems that are in me, saying, "No, don't believe what that little voice is telling you. Listen to the loud voice." David Crabtree, one of the finest ministers I've ever heard, Assemblies of God. He got in a horrible situation, had to leave the church suddenly, and I learned from that. I learned a great deal from that. These people are not perfect, and they never pretend to be. Sometimes they think they are, but most of them are very humble, great people. And David Crabtree, I hope he had a wonderful life after he went down to Florida and so forth, and got closer to the Father. His maybe it wasn't meant for him to be a like the Crabtrees all continue on in their little ministries like a whole family. 1986 takes me there. I remember specifically October at the Millennial Hotel in Orlando, Florida. I went to the wrong convention center. I went to the wrong. It was supposed to be an electrical meeting, how to become an electrician, because I wanted to learn how to do that. And I ended up at a Zion's Hope meeting and met Marvin Rosenthal and had a conversation that changed my direction Incredible. He's also wrote a magazine called Zion's Fire, and I bought them all. I bought everything he had, and he also helped to create the Holy Land Experience with his friend Robert Van Campen, pre-Wrath books that he wrote. Incredible man. Robert died in the 90s, I think 96, 98, something like that, of some kind of a disease, and his daughter carries on and so forth. And now all those books and all those millions of dollars of stuff they invested in with Bibles and so forth are now in a Bible museum in Washington, D.C. It's amazing. And the Holy Land Experience was bought out. Now it's turned into some kind of a zoo. Nobody cares to go there anymore. It's just nothing what Marvin had put his millions into. 1994, I read a book called The Feast of the Lord by Kevin Howard. Incredible book. Do I need any of these things I mentioned? No. All these books show me, you know what? All my brother's books, and there's stacks of them. What do they tell you? It says read the Word, because once you read some of these books, and then you read the Word, you go, oh, I could have figured that out if I had just read the Word. Remember what I just said. D.J. Kennedy, 1989. Now I'm getting up there in years. D. James Kennedy, Coral Ridge Presbyterian. Remember him? Came on every Sunday and Sunday morning. That's back when Saturday morning was cartoons and Sunday was church stuff. It was kind of, it was a great time. He's from Fort Lauderdale, and he wrote a book called Zodiac, which I don't call, because Zodiac is a very pagan word. And I understand where he was in his walk for life, because, and I appreciate that. And I learned from that, and I learned more than what he knew. That is the purpose of a teacher. So I'll just show you the books here. Kevin Howard. There's the Kevin Howard book. Whoop. There you go. Fantastic. Incredible. The feasts. Once you start thinking of what should I do, so Christmas and then add the feasts on there. It doesn't work. You got to do one or the other. There's D.J. Kennedy's book. Okay. And what does he mean by that? He talks about the zodiac, but when you open the book and read it, and you go into the Temple of Dendera, do a little study on there that it still exists. By the way, the British stole it from Egypt and took it to. It's either in France at the Louvre, or it's in London at the British Museum of Antiquities and History. But that's all about Mazzaroth. Mazzaroth, the entire story of the history of the Bible, the entire story of Yeshua is in the stars today. And I follow that. I study the stars just like the Magi do. And like, oh my goodness, you can see things well ahead of time. You know how to walk your walk. E. Raymond Capp, Tribes of Israel. And he wrote a whole bunch of books. He went all over the world studying the tribes of Israel. And what did he say? What did I learn? Well, first of all, they're scattered. Now, I didn't have to read all his books, bought 5 or 6 or 10 or 15 of them. I just could have read the Word. And the Word says, and Paul said, greetings to Galatians, which he means scattered tribes. That's what he meant, Galatians. And then we learn that through the history of all the people throughout the world, that they know there's so many people. The United States is so central-minded. We know everything, and the other, no, that's not true. Tribes all over the world know who they are. But do they recognize right now Yeshua? Do they recognize the Royal Torah? Do they recognize the feast and festivals that they're supposed to be following, not the pagan holidays? No. But that doesn't mean that they don't know the truth. They just don't want to pay attention to the truth. But they're slowly turning to it through small groups. Not institutional churches, not following Orthodox Rabbinism, especially that. So I could have just read this. And Paul, later on when I read the Word through and through and wrote my own Bible, in other words, I put my own commentary in, which is right behind me there. I'm on my 3rd edition. 3rd. Why? Because I keep going and I find, that's not right. Got to get this right. When you say commentary, you got to be able to put it in so that people can test you to see if what you're saying is true. So even a few weeks ago, I've got another new thing I put it in. I thought, I've looked at that 100 times. Why did I not see that myself? Oh, wow. Frank Viola and George Barna. Um, that book there, I found that at a Catholic bookstore for a Catholic church. It was on these sales, these Saturday morning deals. You go buy books, and I got that for like 50 cents, and it was in the pagan heathen Satan column. It's all Christianity. It's all the Word. It's all about Yahweh. It has nothing to do with pagan heathen. It's pagan Christianity because what we do in its institutionalized churches is pagan Christianity. But this should be read by every Catholic and every Christian in the United States. Incredible, incredible book. All right. Uh, and then once I read that, and I read the Word, got into it, I saw it. I was going, why didn't I see that? um, oh, let me continue on here. I mentioned about J. Vernon McGee, and I've done that already, and about all these books by E. Raymond Capt, C-A-P-T. Incredible, incredible. That's just one of them. I've got every one he's got. I had to have it. Every one of them I read, I go to these sites all over the United States and the places I have been able to go to and look at and study online, especially online and through pictures. And that's how I travel now through the internet and go to the sites and take a look at this stuff and going, wow, wow. That's how you come up with things like Genesis 1:1 and 1:2. You dig down with a shovel 15,000 feet and you see that there's thousands and hundreds of thousands and tens of thousands of years of life in the earth that was not in 6 days. It was not. And so then you understand what happened in Genesis 1:1 and 1:2. Then you understand, like even reading other books and commentaries, you're sitting there going, oh, then you read the Word and you read the book of Job and you go, oh, I get it. I see it. So the 6 days of creation of the world, yeah, real thing. But why did Yahweh do that? So the end is revealed in the beginning. You understand that. Genesis, Revelation 20 and 21 and 22. Then you understand looking at Genesis 1:1 and 1:2. There it is. It ends the book of Revelation with a perfect earth, a perfect heaven, no sun, no moon, and that's exactly how Genesis 1:1 and 1:2 starts. And then things became chaotic, destructiveness. Who's the author of chaos and confusion, right? So, what have I got? 2 minutes. I want to thank my brother. He's done. This is a incredibly funny video. Paul the Apostle 1, 2, and 3, and then he does so. This is one of his favorites. Was one of his favorites. He's passed away. This is one of Brad's all kinds of books, and when you go through what he's done, and you go back in the Bible, there it is. So if you just open your mind to the Father, you just crack the book up. Here's a guy, passion for truth. Incredible. That changed. I got rid of all the holidays after that. They got to go. And then once you get rid of them, life is so much better. Passion for Truth by Jim Staley. Now, did he have a legal problem he still has to deal with in life? No, he's out free now. But yeah, he had time to deal with it. But you know what? Yahweh loves him and his family. There you go. And Yahweh looks after Paul. Yahweh looked after him when he was in the jail and so forth. Things are going to turn out all right. Missouri small groups. South Carolina small groups. Marty and Mary Jo Chapelski. These people are a continuous example of life and passion for Abba, Father, and Yeshua. That's who they are. And does life run perfect? Does life running perfect for them right now? No. Just like Paul, just like all the other people, just like others that got in situations, life is going to be okay. It's going to be great. Hang in there. And they're perfect examples that I like to follow and emulate. So all these other books, the Companion Bible, probably one of the best companion Bibles I've ever read. And that's where we at here. I got to get my words. There it is, the Companion Bible. Wow. Well, what a piece of work. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Shalom.